Stalin's first big idea was he outmaneuvered his rivals by using betrayal and manipulation.
Stalin grew up in an abusive, poor home with an alcoholic father.
Later on in life, he changed his name to Joseph Stalin, meaning man of steel.
While Lenin was in power, Stalin and him became close, causing him to move up on the political party ladder.
He became Secretary General of the Central Committee of the Communist Party.
Lenin realized that things he most liked about Stalin, such as how rude and brutal he was and how he got stuff done, made him not trust him anymore.
The only other person Lenin was close to was Trotsky. Stalin didn't agree with Trotsky's political views.
After Lenin's death, Stalin exiled and assassinated Trotsky because he was his rival for power in the USSR.
Stalin became the official ruler of the Soviet Union, even though it was against Lenin's wishes.
When in power, Joseph trusted no one and grew paranoid.
He began having people arrested in the night and accusing people of aligning with the capitalists.
He executed many individuals for being against him.
The cruelty did not stop there.
The next big idea is that Stalin used violence/fear to stay in power.
Stalin was a cunning and devious man who was always thirsty for more power.
He expanded the powers of the secret police, which created a paranoia across the people and encouraged citizens to spy on one another.
Stalin used purges as a way to ensure long-term effects such as
he used them to gain popularity.
If people weren't working hard enough, they would be arrested or killed.
Lastly, he got rid of people he thought could defy him or overthrow him.
This created a fear within civilians across the USSR.
It did not stop there. After he arrested people, he would put them on show trials, accusing them of things they could have never done. If they didn't confess, they were executed immediately.
However, if they did confess, they were sent to labor camps called gulags.
He also had a major impact of what was being taught within schools.
Certain events were not allowed to be learned.
He also changed facts, stats, and just erased certain people from history.
Lastly, he used many forms of propaganda to brainwash the public.
He portrayed himself as God, and many people began praying to him.
When Stalin walked into a room, everyone was expected to clap.
The person who stopped clapping first was always arrested.
But if you clapped for too long, you were accused of being suspicious and killed.
These are just the major things Stalin did to stay in power.
Lastly, the most important idea is that Joseph Stalin was necessary for Russia.
Although Stalin was the reason for the death of 20+ million people, he changed Russia for the better.
When Stalin came to power, Russia was 100 years behind industrialization.
Stalin changed that in just 10 years.
Stalin followed 5-year plans. He also created collectivization farms to promote agriculture.
These 5-year plans also increased wages as well as workers' rights.
These plans made a big difference within the coal, oil, pig iron, and steel industry.
Without Stalin, Russia wouldn't have industrialized so quick. Stalin also started to give rights to women. The Constitution of the USSR guaranteed equality for women.
The number of women who entered the workforce rose from 423,000 to 885,000.
Stalin's Russia was one of the very few where women were equal.
Lastly, Russia never encountered the Great Depression because the USSR was the only communist state at that time.
It had minimal trade contact with the rest of the world.
Russia's economy never suffered the way capitalist countries did.
Without the hardship of the USSR went through during Stalin, it would not be the country it is today. Hey, Emrit, knock knock.
Who's there?
The secret police!